Okay, next question.
Do we have a special tool to determine if an item is 14 karat solid gold, gold plated, or any other markings? I'll take that one.
I can answer that. Go ahead.
So what I do, the first thing I do is I take a magnet to everything. So if someone brings in a bunch of jewelry and tells me it's all gold and silver, for example, the fastest thing to do to put things to the side is, I'm doing Vanna White.
Is that what you're doing?
Is to put a magnet over everything. And if the magnet attracts, then it is definitely not gold, definitely not sterling silver. Most of the time, not most of the time, half the time, gold plated is usually junk underneath, nothing special. Once in a while, it's sterling silver, and gold filled and gold plated are two different things. Gold filled means it's actually mixed in the metal that makes up the item. Gold plated means it's over top of something else. So you can have a mixture of gold and sterling. So that is possible. So then the next thing I do is, obviously I look for markings, 10 karat, 14 karat, 18 karat, etc. But you also have to look, there are markings that are the European markings. So 585, for example, if you see 585, that's 14 karat and a European mark. 785 is 18 karat, etc. So there's different markings you want to look for. Then on top of that, what I do is I have an acid kit. And in the acid kit, I actually did a video on this and it didn't turn out really good. So I'm going to redo it and show you guys in detail how it works. But the way the acid kit works is I scratch the piece, whether it's sterling or gold, I scratch it onto a block, and then I pour the acid on it, just a little dot of acid. And there's a different acid for each amount of gold. So there's a 14 karat, a 10 karat, and 18 karat. So if an item is 14 karat, for example, I scratch and then you can see the gold. So usually right away, you know, but if I have no idea what it is, I'll start with 10 karat. And if the 10 karat, you can see the gold through the acid and it doesn't eat it up, then I step up to 14, 18, and so on. Once the gold eats it up, then I have to go back to whatever it... So in other words, if I do 10 karat and I can still see the gold through, but I do the 14 karat acid and it eats up the gold on the block, then I know I have a 10 karat piece. So that's it. I actually would really, really like to get... There's a machine called a key machine, K-E-E, and that you can electronically use to determine whether it's gold or silver and what's in it. And by the way, silver, sterling silver, the best way to acid test for sterling silver is not to use the silver acid. I use 18 karat gold acid on that, and it actually turns blue if it's real sterling. So I'll do a video on that. I promise you guys, I'll do a video and explain that in a little more detail. How to identify even costume jewelry, you know what to look for. Okay, did I answer? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What's this backstory behind the chicken wing song? Chicken wing, we just started that. There's she's
cousin Nina.
Yeah. You'll see her name is Valerie on Friday nights, but we call her D, or Wednesday nights. But her little girl, her name is Nina, and she is such a sweetie. And she's just become part of us because she looks forward to watching us on Wednesdays and Fridays. And I always try to make a big deal about her because we love her. And I actually, for Christmas, I had a shirt made up for her. That is one of our company shirts that we wear when we were doing estate sales. And it says manager in training. It's a t-shirt. So it says manager in training. So she liked the song, and that's where it started. We just started kidding around about that.
Is it really a song, then?
Yeah. It's, well, it's not a song. It's just
if I put it in YouTube.
Yeah, it'll pop up.
Just like my Boomerang song.
Yeah, it's nothing like the Boomerang song.
But
it's just a goofy, funny song. That's
okay.
all. So anyway, so that's why that started, and that's why we were singing it for Nina Bear. Because we love a little girl. We love kids, don't we, PatPat?
Yes, we do.
Kids and puppies.
Oh, God. All kinds of puppies.
But we love when kids come in. I love when kids or teenagers even come in and they're interested in the business. I just eat that up, and I love teaching them stuff. Have you ever been on a pick at a house that you just wanted to get out of there fast?
Hold on, wait a minute.
There's a lot of them like that. A lot, I'd say probably half the houses we go on picks, half of them are not ideal conditions. It's either there's water in the basement, you're walking through water, or there's no heat in the house, there's no electricity in the house. So there's a lot of different reasons that it's not the greatest, area to do that in. But that doesn't really bother us because, that's fun, believe it or not. I enjoy it. So even though it's kind of nasty in some of those houses, they have really cool things. So the only time that I think I had houses where I just couldn't wait to get out was when I was doing certain estate sales. And the one that comes to mind, you and Peggy, I think, helped me with, it was somewhere around Audubon. And the house had no air conditioning.
Now I know where you're at. Okay, yeah.
No air conditioning, no electricity, and no running water. So we had no bathroom, couldn't use the bathroom, and we're in there, we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're there till 4 in the afternoon plus. So that was really uncomfortable. We had to open up all the windows and try to get light in there, and that was just horrible.
It's hard.
Yeah. We've had a few like that, but that was probably one of the worst.
Was that worse than the last one that you did down in Morristown, where you had to sign waivers to get onto the property?
The one where we were walking downhill. We're in the house, and it was a clean out that Debbie and Gary were doing.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Which one are you talking about?
Tom Brown Road. Tom Brown Road. I can't remember the guy's
Oh,
name.
Morristown. I thought you said
Morristown.
Morristown.
No, Morristown. Tom Brown Road.
That was...
Remember, because I had to get you a crapper, porta potty.
Oh, there was no potty there.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, I came to see
But
you
they had
once.
electricity and stuff.
Did they?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
So that wasn't that wasn't as bad. No, there was some inconveniences there, but it wasn't terrible. But generally, that's it. It's just when you're working there, like if we're doing a clean out in one of those houses and we have to keep leaving to go to the bathroom, or we don't have any electricity and it's hot or it's cold, that's pretty much it. But for a pick, you're in and out, depending on how much is there. But the Morristown that I thought she was talking about, we were in that house, and Barb came with us, and Wendy.
You left me in the kitchen.
And PatPat came in and sat in the kitchen. But you'd walk in the house, and you start walking in through the kitchen, and you start going downhill. So there's been some interesting houses. To me, that's fun. I enjoy that. So I hope that answered your question. Let me see. You're always telling us not to clean our vintage coins. My question is why? And if your reason is because the chemicals or the fact not to rub off any of the artwork on the coins, then there's a second question. I have a device called an ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. It cleans with water and ultrasonic waves, no rubbing and no chemicals. Is it okay to clean with that device? The reason you don't want to use any kind of chemical cleaner on your coins is because say you find out, say you don't know much about coins, for instance, and you have a coin that could be worth, $5,000. And in order to get that kind of money for the coin, you have to send it out, which we do. We can do that. We belong to a group that does that. So if you send it out to have it certified, so what they do is they grade and certify the coin. They'll look at the coin, let you know what the grade is. So, whether it's it's hard to explain to go through the whole thing, but whether it's just like everyday coin or whether it's in perfect condition or something like that, what'll happen is if there's any residue of chemicals on it, it'll come back with the word details written on it. So they'll encapsulate the coin, but it'll say details. And I actually, and details could mean other things too. There could be a scratch on it, or there could be what they call a bag mark. It could be other things, but most of the time that means it's been cleaned. So it takes away from the value of the coin to do that. So now, can you put it in an ultrasonic jewelry cleaner? You can, however, the ones that I've used, the ultrasonic cleaners, you don't just use water. You have to use some sort of chemical in there, some sort of cleaning agent. The ones that we use for jewelry and such, there's actually an ultrasonic cleaning agent that you put in there. So it's not just water. So you may not be using that correctly, so you might want to look into that. But most of those you want to use the agent, the cleaning agent too. So, did I answer the question?
Did you answer all of it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you said, is it okay to clean with that device? If it's just water, you can. I wouldn't do much more than just brush off any debris, and that's it. You know, I wouldn't do much more than that with a coin.
Right.
Oh, this is actually, I got to tell who this is from. This is from PatPat, or PatPat. Did I say PatPat in the beginning?
Yeah, because she was one of the originals. Yes. Swear to God.
Okay. Oh, I scared myself.
It's okay.
All right. So from our PatPat, she wants to know, what is PatPat's favorite color, and what is Kimmy's favorite color?
And what's the rest of it?
I think that's it. Can't believe I don't know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's PatPat.
So
Do you know PatPat's favorite color?
No, I don't. But she should know what mine is. But do you want to tell them what mine is, and I'll tell you what yours is, and we'll see if we're right?
Sure.
Go ahead. What's my favorite color?
Purple. What?
Are you serious?
God, that was my best guess. Sure.
Turquoise.
Oh, turquoise.
Turquoise.
Yeah, that took care of the purple.
Like,
okay.
It's like a seafoam color.
Yeah.
Or turquoise
beachy.
color. Beachy kind of thing. That's my favorite.
All right.
Can you believe that? Now watch. I know she's told me what her favorite color was many times. I will bet you dollars to donuts she tells me it's wrong.
Good.
You ready?
Good.
Purple.
No.
I knew it. You have told me so many times that your favorite color is purple.
Because I don't have one.
How can you not have a favorite color?
I never did. Honest to God, never did. My mother thought it was Kelly green because it was Kelly green in my bedroom. I had to pick a cover. And it was Kelly green. So that was my favorite color. When I moved out on my own, well, it became denim. For obvious reasons. Then, as I had to pick my own stuff from my own apartment, I was like, I'll just get all black.
Yeah, she did. Her apartment was all black and white. My mom and I hated it.
I loved it. I thought it was stylish.
We were trying to help her decorate.
I shopped at the Pensacola Mall.
Oh, Lord. So if you
honestly,
were pushed to
if I was pushed to say, what is your favorite color? I really don't have one.
Come on. Out of all the colors in the rainbow, what's your favorite one?
If I had to pick one, I probably would pick purple.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is how it goes. When you ask her a question, it is not easy. So there you go, PatPat.
By the way, you owe us a favorite color. So go ahead.
All right.
What's the next?
This is another one that I'm going to have to answer. When did, I'm sorry. When did milk glass items start being made, and is any milk glass antique? Yes.
To what?
Yes, there is antique milk glass. Now, if I've said this before, but just to clarify, antique is anything that's 100 years or older. And then there's different subcategories. And vintage is anything that's 20 to 100 years. So a lot of people go back and forth on that. That's what it is. That's the answer. Because that's why I said so. So anyway, milk glass actually started in Italy. Italy, where you ride the boats on the water. Venice.
Oh my God.
And I've read different 14th century, 15th century, 16th century. I think most of them say 16th century. So that's when it actually started. And the reason it was popular was because they were trying to, and maybe that was Victorian, okay, let me take that back. So it started in, I'm going to say 16th century.
In turquoise.
Venice, not turquoise.
Oh, sorry.
That was our last question. Italy. You better get the dictionary right, woman.
I'm recording.
So anyway, so that's when it first was popular. Then it came back pretty big during the Victorian era. And the reason it did then is because they wanted a cheaper version of porcelain, like fine porcelain, and what else? They were replacing china and porcelain, basically. So it was a big thing during the Victorian era for a while. Then when carnival glass started being made, then milk glass kind of went bye-bye. So there's different eras of milk glass when it was popular, and then it came back 50s and 60s again. So there are definitely antique milk glass, and there's different eras of it and different makers of it. And the ones that have most value are the ones that are a little more rare, and the ones that are signed like Fenton and things like that. So that was actually, you know who asked that? Junebug.
Of course, Junebug.
Junebug's awesome. So I hope I answered your question on that. How do you initiate new ladies into the Pink Ladies? Well, you don't have to drink.
Well, there is an initiation now.
There's a secret initiation.
Yeah, it's like a sorority kind of thing. I think there's paddles.
No, you just hang out with us. That's all. That's all it is. There's no big deal. It's just, you know, like I said, we love all our vendors. It's just the Pink Ladies are not because we love them more. It's just that they're the ones that we hang out with more. That's all. And we'd love to hang out with you guys more. So, right? So they could easily be Pink Ladies.
We hang out with everybody.
Yep. It's not a closed group, so.
Except for the T-Birds, because there's only one Gary and one Polly.
Yes, the T-Birds.
I think they're man enough for all us ladies.
Sorry. Here's one you can answer, Pat. Does your work together ever affect your personal life?
How should I answer that? Yes.
How?
What personal life?
So,
well, how was that? It goes back to when I used to work where I told you I didn't ever want to work with you. We had our separate work.
Yeah.
And then we came together at night.
Yep.
Well, now we're this.
And I actually asked her years ago. It was way before we started the shop, right?
Yeah.
I said to her, would you ever consider, this is before she got really sick and had to leave her job. I said, would you ever consider just coming and working with me and helping me run the business? And she said, no, she wasn't interested. So you're saying it's affected us just because that's all we do?
Well, and take this for instance. We're home at night.
Right.
What do we talk about?
Puppies.
Besides puppies and, you know, the TikToks that you watch or the shows, whatever. What do we talk about? We talk about here. We talk about this life. We talk about the antiques. We talk about this vendor. And yes, we do talk about the vendors.
But that's not a bad thing.
I didn't say it was a bad thing, but it's not personal. It's not a Kim and Pat thing.
Right.
Okay, where we could, you know, how many times in the last year, and Corona has not helped us, okay, have we been able to say to each other, let's just go away and forget everything. When was the last time you put your phone down at a Thanksgiving table?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's something
That's
your mother used to get upset about.
Yeah.
And I understood that.
Well, understand too that both of us have always been workaholics.
Yeah, oh
Like,
God, yeah. The job always came first.
Yeah, when we both worked, you know, separate jobs before I was even in this kind of business.
Yep.
When I was in the car business, for instance, I'd come home at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And
Yeah, on New Year's Eve. Gotta get that last sale in for the year. Kim, are you kidding me?
But she worked pretty hard too. So she'd
Pretty
go in.
hard?
Yeah. And she'd go in on days that she was off and stuff like that. But I think that's the main thing. It's not I mean, we enjoy what we do. I enjoy what I do. Do you enjoy what you do?
Getting to.
But we enjoy it, and it's our life, and that's okay. But I think I'm pretty much along with what PatPat said, that the only bad thing is we don't get to be us, just us, as much as we'd like to. We used to, every year we had a thing where on my birthday we would go down to Rehoboth Beach, and we'd do at least a long weekend. And then every September we would go up to Cape Cod to P-Town, and we'd vacation for at least a week. So we did that all the time, and we haven't been able to go away at all.
2008.
Yeah, we haven't been to P-Town since 2008. And so
We really haven't been on vacation
yeah.
since 2008.
Yeah, I
When
mean,
you
the
think about
store started in 2017, but prior to that, I was so busy with the estate sales. So, so I think it's more that, you know, we don't argue about things and stuff like that. We, like, if I get ticked at her, I just holler at her and then we're done. We don't really,
Like,
yeah, we don't fight about things. It doesn't affect us that way. We just get annoyed at each other and it's over with. It's like no big deal.
yeah, we just try to figure out something else.
Yeah,
can
we
do.
don't really fight. We don't argue. So we're very lucky that way.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta say, Amanda's son wants to know this. Why do I call you PatPat?
Well, you collect pats. You collect pats. When we first started, it was just myself and Paper Pat. So it was kind of easy, Pat, Paper Pat.
Right.
Pat, Paper Pat. And then you brought on Pepper.
Right.
Did she come first? It was Newspaper Pat that came
Newspaper
first.
Pat.
Newspaper Pat
Who
came on
unfortunately
first.
is no longer with us. I mean, she's in heaven.
Yeah, she's in heaven. But, so then it became Newspaper Pat, Paper Pat, and Pat. Then we came to our next vendor, who we now call Pepper.
Pepper.
Her name is Pat. So now you got Pepper, you got Paper Pat, Newspaper Pat, and Pat. And at some point, Kim just started going, PatPat.
And the reason, what she's saying is that's how everybody knows. I call her PatPat.
Yeah.
That was just my name for her because she hates Patty. She doesn't like Patricia. And I thought it was cute, so I called her PatPat.
That's the other reason.
So, and then people started to hear it, and then everybody called her PatPat.
Yep, my own sister now calls me that. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and like me with Kimmy, nobody called me Kimmy until I was like 30, 40 years old.
Yeah, that
Probably
was,
40.
That was probably funny.
So, that's where PatPat came from. That was just my name for PatPat, and then everybody heard it, and
Caught on.
that's what it is. Oh,
Don't turn your paper upside
they're
down.
upside down.
Okay, next one.
Is there anything you've been waiting to finally find or come across?
$3 million. Two for me, one for her.
Yeah, I can't think of anything specific.
I have the dog, so I need more.
I love
Yeah.
jewelry, so even though I don't wear a lot of it, I like playing with jewelry. So I'd love to come across some really rare piece of gold jewelry or something like that.
With or without a stone?
It doesn't matter.
No? Okay.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
But I just love to find things that I've never seen before. So it can be something that's only worth $1, but if I've never seen it before, I love that, because I just see the same things over and over again so much. It's just so neat. And that's like on Friday nights for the auction. I always try to find you guys stuff that's different, because that's what is interesting to me. So I don't think it's any one particular thing. Do you remember me ever saying anything, or?
No, actually, I think you just have more of a fascination with new things that you haven't seen. That's when you get your most excited. Like, and I'll just take, for instance, where we're sitting. When you saw those bottles.
Yeah, the Cod bottles.
Yeah, you were just like, oh, yeah.
Because they're rare. You don't see too many of them.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're rare. You don't see them. And now they're within your grasp.
Right. Steph and Amanda brought them in.
Yeah.
So that's something that I don't see very often.
Yeah.
But anything that I've not seen before, that always interests me. So I think that's it.
No, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially if it's cool.
Oh, yeah, cool.
When did your love of antiques start? When did your love of antiques start? I'm sure that question's for you.
I'm on medical leave right now. I'm sure it'll kick in when I come back semi full time.
All right. I have thought back, and I think it started when I was very, very young. When I was born, we lived in Belmar until I was 5 years old, and then we moved to West Stepford.
Little Kimmy.
Little Kimmy. And I remember telling this story before, but there was a guy, an older man who lived by himself a block away from where I lived. And we lived in a great area. It was all closed in. There were woods to play in. It was awesome. But anyway, I would walk around. I mean, at 6 years old, then you just do your thing. So I was walking around, and I was walking back to where the woods are. And
At 6 years old?
At 6 years
I would have been having a stroke. Oh my God.
And I saw a shed with all kinds of junk in the shed. Like all different stuff, and it was wide open. So, you're a kid. You don't bother asking or anything. And I started...
Did your mother know where you were? I know your mother. Your mother would have had a stroke.
No. As long as I came back at some point.
So she didn't know what you were doing?
I probably told her.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as I stayed in the neighborhood. It was only a block away.
God.
I mean, when I used to go to Miss M's to get bread and milk and ice cream and cigarettes for Mom, not for me.
Totally different.
I mean, that was blocks away. That was 5 blocks away.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
So anyway, I started going into this guy's shed and playing like I had my own little antique shop. And so I must have saw it somewhere and got interested. And the man came back and he said it was okay for me to play there. And so I continued to do that. I just go over there by myself and pretend I had a little antique shop. So I did that for years. And then my Aunt Evelyn, who I adored, she was like a big sister to me. She and I, when I got, to be a teenager, we would go out and we'd go to thrift stores and stuff like that. And I just got more and more interested in the better antiques and the better stuff. And that's it. So, why do you think that's funny? Little Kimmy playing in the shed?
Because I could picture your mother not knowing that you're getting your hands dirty and you're doing all this stuff. Kimberly, you shouldn't be touching that. What are you... Kimberly!
No, not at all.
No?
No.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay.
Mom was like... I mean, I just went out and I played. She didn't like me playing in the woods too much, but she didn't care.
Okie dokie. Go ahead.
Has anyone ever won big money with the wheel of PatPat on a lottery ticket? You want to take that?
I seem to remember one person winning $20, but I think that was it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't got any biggies, so it's coming. And
Yeah.
Wheel of PatPat didn't start until
Yeah, when did you start that?
maybe a year ago.
Has it been a year? It has been a year.
Not even a year.
I don't think so, no.
So we didn't do that before. We've been doing the online auction we're going into 3 years now, right?
For the Friday night?
Because it started in 2018, 1920.
Right.
So we're on our 3rd year now. So Wheel of PatPat just started. Because I used to just do the auction and we didn't have a contest or a drawing or anything. So, right?
There's a lot of things you didn't have when you first started.
Yeah, we should. If you go back and you look at our old auctions, first of all, I'm like, I was so nervous. PatPat wasn't there. She was just
medical leave.
Medical leave. And Karen and Wendy helped me, and I was so scared. I was, if you listen to me talk, it's like, hello to the auction. And then I didn't even have the clock. I didn't have the clock. Joanne got us our first clock, our turquoise clock. So I didn't even have a clock that I really used. I just said sold, going, gone, or something. I don't know.
Well, you used to, at the beginning, you used a stopwatch.
Oh, yeah, I did a
Yeah,
stopwatch.
you did a stopwatch.
So, anyway.
Go ahead.
How did you acquire all your knowledge?
Oh, I know that one.
Arnolf, me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You don't sleep.
That's about it.
Am I wrong?
Do you know how I got my knowledge?
You read.
I read, yeah. Once I got really, really interested in it and decided that at some point I was going to do something with it, what I did was I started just looking at antique books, because this was even before the internet really had a lot of information out there. So I just started looking through the antique books and reading and studying and trying to understand why this is valuable and this isn't, and understand the differences with things. And then PatPat and myself and Peggy, my sister-in-law, Pat's sister, we used to go every year to the Atlantic City Antique Show, Atlantique City, which was awesome, and we used to love it. And I even went, I had surgery, and I couldn't even walk. And I wanted to go so bad, I rode around on a cart one year.
Yes,
Remember
you
that?
did.
But anyway.
And my sister and I were chasing her in that cart.
So what I would do was,
You're not denying it.
I would go there, or I'd go to antique shops, and I would test myself. So I would see something on the table, and without looking at the tag or looking at to see if it's signed or anything, I would say that that's a McCoy cookie jar. And then I'd check, and it would be a McCoy cookie jar. And I'd look at a platter or plate and say, oh, that looks like it's Limoges. And it was Limoges. So I kind of tested myself. And the more I got into it, the more interested I got. And then
everything just kind of stuck.
Yeah. And then that's what actually led to me having an antique shop. It started with, I was in the car business for years. Before that, I was a private investigator. Most of you guys know that. But what happened was I was getting out in the car business because it was really not doing well. And I'm trying to come up with something to do, and I wanted to start my own business. And one of the options was to have an eBay store. At that time, they were starting these eBay stores where you could drop things off. And I looked into that, but I didn't have the capital to start that. So I said, well, why don't I start a cleaning company? And green cleaning's a new thing right now. So why don't I start a green cleaning company before anybody else does it in the area? And that's what I did. The name was Pure Clean. And I made all the cleaning products, and we did that for years. And I got a call from a realtor about cleaning a house, and he said, do you know anyone who does estate sales? Because we need the whole estate liquidated. And I said, yeah, we do that. I never done it before, but I figured it out and fell in love with doing that part of it. And I ended up selling the cleaning company, and we did really well. We were actually in the newspaper and in the local Philadelphia news.
You were on TV.
I was on TV a couple times. So we did really well with that, but I sold the cleaning company, and I started the estate sale company, and it went from there. and you know the rest. So that's how I got my knowledge. But I am stumped. I still am stumped, and I love when I'm stumped. That's fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite antique that you would like to find? I think I said that before, but like I said, anything for me, it doesn't have to be any particular item. It can be, I appreciate all of it. I really do, and I appreciate the history of it. I love to hold something that's 100 years old and imagine all the people that held it, and it being at a dinner for the families, and the history to it, just my imagination runs wild, and I love that part of it. So not anything in particular, just anything cool, so, or different. Whatever happened with the diamonds in the medical kit? Were they real? What she's referring to is this, Debbie Harrison. We had, on a Friday night auction, I was going through, I had a vintage medical kit, and it had all different little containers in it. I opened one container, and it looked like a whole thing of rough diamonds. It really did, and I had no idea. And the person who won it, Debbie and Paul, they tested it, and it came out that it was diamonds. I tested it. Sometimes it came out it was, sometimes it wasn't. So I think it's still up in the air, to tell you the truth. We're going to have to ask Debbie and Paul, because I'm not sure if they got a final answer. I told them to go to a jeweler and have a jeweler actually run it under a machine, because we can only do so much. I have a machine that creates heat and determines whether it's actually a diamond or it's a CZ or something like that. But to know for sure, that they would have had to go to a jeweler. So I'll update as soon as I talk to him, let you know. How did you and PatPat meet? We already talked about that. And last question is,
how do we meet?
I don't know. Walking down the road, say, how you doing?
I thought it was at Gatsby's.
I said, how you doing? I just started watching your live auctions and wonder how I can sell some of my antiques. You can certainly contact me, and I can look through your items for you. You can make an appointment, bring them in, and
preferably when she's there.
Yes, you gotta make an appointment and make sure I'm here. I'm generally here on Sundays, losing my voice, Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. So
well, don't put that out in stone, Ken, because
no, that's generally, I said.
Okay, because with me coming back,
right,
you may go out more.
So that's iffy.
Everything is up in the air at this point.
But just make an appointment. So make an appointment to come in. I'll look at your items for you. Or if there's a lot of it and you need me to come out, you can make an appointment. I'll come to you. You can sell your items with me. You can consign your items, and then I'll determine the best way to sell them, whether it's going to be on eBay, whether it's going to be online in a different capacity. You can buy now from our website. So we have things for sale there, or we do it at Friday night auction, or we just leave it at the store and sell it from the store. So we do that, and then we get a portion of it. We get a commission. eBay, there's some fees involved too. So basically you can do it that way through me. If you want to try to do it yourself, I can walk you through how to do it on eBay, how to do it on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of times what I do, just so you know, if I say I go to a house and I've either bought the whole house out, or I'm doing a clean out and I have to determine what I'm doing with everything, I go out and I put things into piles of, this is going to go on eBay, this is going to go in the store, in the shop, this is going to go on Friday night auction, this I'll sell on Marketplace, and this will go to auction. So those are my categories on how I sell things. So that's kind of what you need to do. And on Facebook, there's different groups that buy specific items. There's groups for just military. There's groups that just want sporting memorabilia. There's groups that just want glass. So there's different ways you can do it. But if you contact me, I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm always happy to do that. It's a little hard to call me because we get busy and I can't hang on the phone. But if you make an appointment, come in, be happy to sit and talk to you and walk you through it. So I think that's it. Did we get it all done?
I have one question for you.
Okay.
I bet you there's one person out there who forgot to ask you this question.
What?
What's your favorite number?
My favorite number is 6.
Why is your number 6?
Because that was my favorite age. And it's even.
And?
I don't know.
What is 6'6"?
Oh, I was born 6'6", 65. I always like the number 6.
Because you are a 6.
Right.
That's your thing with odds and evens too.
Yes, I have a thing. I'm like a little OCD. I don't like odd numbers.
See?
So I just like evens. So I think we answered all your questions.
Hopefully we did.
Hopefully. We're going to hope to do, I got to get better at editing, but I hope to do a lot more stuff here on YouTube. So follow us on YouTube if you would. If you could just give us a quick like, a comment, and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. And that'll get our numbers up so that we can eventually do some live stuff on YouTube too.
You know what else you should do?
What's that?
Some of the old videos that we've done from...
Put them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the original.
The original.
You're the one that I want from the counter.
We did do some goofy stuff. So
yeah.
I think that's it, guys. So again, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. We want to try to build our YouTube channel as much as we can. Thank you. Everyone who asked us questions, thank you so much for taking the time to do that.
There's no question too small or too big.
Don't forget to see us on Wednesday nights for Hump Day Happy Hour.
Friday night.
At 6 o'clock.
Friday night.
Friday night for our auction at 7 o'clock.
Right.
And we're set up for tomorrow night already. So come see us for that. All right, guys. We good? We good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Sweet Vintage Dreams.